I am here at St. George's Castle in Lisbon, which has plenty of peacocks here, by the way, and I'm going to go take a tour real quick before it closes. Today, we will be exploring Lisbon. The first stop on our tour will be Sao George Castle. And I kid you not, they had a peacock warning sign at the entrance to this castle because this place is crawling with them. Personally, I didn't see the danger. These birds are only friendly to me. As you will see, I got up very close to them without issue, but just make sure you make smart choices if you approach the birds. Anyway, Sao George Castle is located on a bluff in the heart of Lisbon. From up here, the entire downtown and even the harbor beyond can be seen plain as day. If you're looking for a city overlook to take some photos, this is certainly the best spot in town for you. We believe the first fortress on this site actually dates back to the Romans, who built it sometime around the 1st century BC. However, the current site was constructed by the Moors sometime around the 8th century, after the Muslim conquest of Iberia. Now, in case you were wondering, the peacocks are here to serve as a reminder that this place once served as the royal menagerie. Even the now extinct Barbary lion was once held within these walls. Today, the Lisbon Zoo is elsewhere, but these birds remain as a fun reminder of the building's legacy. Although the inside of the castle has been rebuilt several times due to earthquakes throughout the years, these walls are still of sturdy Moorish design. Despite all that has changed around it, there has been no real attempt to hide its true heritage. This fort was conquered by Christian forces in the siege of Lisbon around the year 1147, and would be of vital importance to holding the city for several more centuries. In fact, this castle even became the residence of the Portuguese monarch as a place of refuge until the prospect of Moorish reconquest had subsided. This site was of such great importance that even the nation's archives were kept here until the 1755 earthquake leveled the records tower and all the other buildings in the compound, except the walls, the castle, and the military hospital. These are all the remaining structures as of today. In what I believe was the old military hospital, there was a rather impressive museum if you ever stopped by. It contained all the different eras of the fort's history. It covered everything from the Phoenicians, to the Romans, to the Vandals, to the Moors, to the present day. It had a very literal take on the phrase king of the hill, if you know what I mean. As night began to set above the fort, all the birds gathered into one tree. Although they are shy, I did my best to defy the rules, and showcasing these birds are nothing to be afraid of. Now, on to other Lisbon sites. First built in 1899, the Santa Justa Lift was an early elevator and bridge. It was intended to give residents a better access to the city. Originally running on a steam train engine, it had many renovations over the years. Nonetheless, a wonder of its time, it's a rare working relic of the Gilded Age. And now for the Palace Yard. Right on the waterfront downtown is our next destination. Beyond the arch in the distance, and I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, the Praça do Comenceiro, also known as the Palace Yard, besides being one of the most photographed sites in Lisbon, a great deal of Portuguese history has been made here. It has traditionally been home to many of the government's departments, including their Supreme Court, although it has seen a share of its dark days as well. At the turn of the century, it was the site of King Carlos's assassination, which led to the abolition of the monarchy and the creation of the Republic 2 years later in 1910. And now for the second oldest site on this list, the Lisbon Cathedral. This cathedral began construction immediately following the conquest of Lisbon in the year 1147, and is one of the few buildings in the city that has survived the many earthquakes since then. And personally, I felt it was one of the oldest buildings in Lisbon from the outside. And now, the famous Tower of Belem. As the name would suggest, the Tower of Belem is not located in Lisbon proper, but 4 miles away in the suburb of Belem. Nonetheless, the building is often seen as a symbol of the city. It was originally constructed by King Manuel in 1615 to protect Lisbon further up the Tagus River. Beyond its original purpose, the small fort became famous around the world for its Moorish architecture and white basalt stone. Although the Tower of Belem is available for tours, it was closed on the day of my visit. But hopefully one of you can do that in my place someday. Nonetheless, it made for some great pictures. One last thing to note. If you look closely across the Tagus River, you will see a homage to Brazil's Christ the Redeemer. Therefore, it is only fitting Portugal's largest city is still watched over. On one side by the ever-present eyes of God, and on the other, the walls and guns of a time gone by.